5, 3.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Punt Situation with Polk and Scott. How's it going, Scott?
Going great, Polk. How was your fantasy football this week?
I'm 3-0 in the league and chugging right along, the only undefeated team. And then this past week, it's just really killing me not having Jonathan Taylor, but I think we got some stuff figured out. I finally got that really helped. So beat one of the league, and we're looking up as soon as Jonathan Taylor gets traded, right?
Yeah, exactly. Supposedly he's going to be starting next week, so we'll see what happens there. We also got some other stuff going on. You guys have Mike Williams. He is out for the season, so go ahead and drop him. There's no chance of him coming back, even if they decide to go to the playoffs or anything. Quentin Johnson will be a great pickup. He's going to be the number 2 guy over there. I know everybody says Joshua Palmer is going to move up to number 2, but Quentin Johnson is going to be the man over there, going to be the second wide receiver on that core over there. Dolphins, go Dolphins, huh, Polk?
Let's go. Hey, they came to play, didn't they?
Yeah, they did came to play, and that was a revenge game for your coach over there, right? Used to be the ball boy for the Broncos and applied for the job in 2022, and they didn't even consider him. And now he threw a big 7-0 on them and said, "Nah, go fuck yourself." So
yeah, and the great thing, and what I really like about Mike is, he actually had an opportunity to kick the field goal, go ahead and get the most game, and then he could have put it at 73. He was a gentleman about it. He didn't. He went ahead and kneeled it out, got it out of there. But I bet Denver's kicking themselves, right? Because they've really struggled, and he seems to be so far. So
yeah, exactly. He's getting everything going on over there. They were down with Waddle last week and still scored 70 points. Just imagine if Waddle was in the game. It could have been more, right, Polk? So
yeah, it could have been a lot more. Now, it's the running backs, right? They had a field day. Mostert had a field. So 4 touchdowns apiece. Coming into that, guys, be
over
careful.
200
be careful
yards.
Starting Achane. He looked great. We just want to pump the brakes, though, because, it seemed like one of those games where Dolphins couldn't do wrong, So, where I pick up this week. If it was me, I would pump my brakes on starting him unless you really need him. Mostert's still there. Mostert's been pretty solid for the Dolphins. So, it's that 1-2.
Exactly. And guys, like Polk said, basically you just need to hold off on them just a little bit. I know you want to put them in your lineup. I know you drafted them for a reason or picked them up on the wire. But, you definitely, if you, like Polk said, if you need them, put them in your lineup. If he's a flex option for you, and you need a flex, go ahead and put them in there. But definitely, I wanted to also say I advised one of our followers. He texted me on Sunday. His name is Chad, and he said, "And I just picked him up off the waiver wire just now. I'm kind of intimidated to use him on today's game." And he's like, "What should I do?" And I was like, "Look, man, put him in. They're playing Denver, if you really need them." He goes, "Man, my running backs are thin. I have AJ Dillon, and I really thinking I should go with AJ Dillon." And I was like, "No, man, you picked him up today in the waiver wire. Go ahead and put him in there. AJ Dillon's not doing anything right this moment. Yes, I know he was a starter last week, but it wasn't AJ Dillon's game." And so he put him in. He texted me later and said, dude, I will never doubt you again. I appreciate you. And he got that big win. So
Yeah,
that was
awesome.
pretty
And
cool.
that's the thing, guys. If you need him, right? He definitely has the potential to score some points. That Dolphins offense. You want anybody in that Dolphins offense? Go ahead. They've been putting up points. And like Scott said, if AJ Dillon, yeah, he is a starter. We know now plenty of years. Not much, right? His ceiling's pretty low. Yeah, he'll consistently get you 3, 4, 5 points. Do what Achan can do, and get 4 touchdowns, 233 yards.
Exactly.
The options, if it's
if your opponent's filling that roster, and they got a pretty stacked roster, and they're scoring. You got to throw that wild card out there. That's definitely what you want to do. But
So, Polk, I wanted to talk to you. There's some people who are kind of concerned, real quick, and we'll go really fast on this, and then we'll talk about Sunday's game. And a lot of people were panicking on Calvin Ridley and Trevor Lawrence. Should they trade both of them to get a better option, or should they just hold on? There was just a rough couple of games for them.
They definitely had a slow start, and that's not what you were looking on. Trevor Lawrence had a pretty solid year last year, was able to run the ball. It seems like the offense has really failed to.
right, they brought in Christian Kirk
last year, and they figured they were going to use him a lot, and Zay Jones and stuff, and they brought in Ridley, and I just don't. With their run game, I don't think they really trust ETN, and now they're bringing Tank, and he's looking. So I just. It's been a weird fantasy year, and we'll say that, right?
Right.
It's not the fantasy league. He's not even in the top 5, I don't think. It's Kirk Cousins and these other guys.
Kirk Cousins, Brock Purdy, those guys.
Right. So what I would say is those are Kirk Cousins is just having to chunk it up because they don't have a run game, and Brock good scheme and offense and makes pretty decent decisions. Kind of like Tom Brady. Tom Brady never threw it for, and he did. He probably had some games where he threw it for 400 yards, 500 yards, whatever. But he was a very consistent, smart passer. He didn't have to. He took the. And that's what Brock Purdy's doing. So I think the future's bright. But these other guys, they're more talented. Take some time, right? We're going into week 4. Let's let the wheels get moving. We just put oil on them. Fantasy has a way of correcting itself, and I think you're going to start seeing these top guys, these top producers continue. Because it's just Dobbs is looking good. Do I think Dobbs is a top 32 quarterback in the league? No, unfortunately I don't. Geno, the success last year, and now he don't look very good this year. Love's looking good. It's crazy. So, I think some of these other guys, and I'm just thinking, I think that they were a little more studious in the offseason, took it a little more serious versus guys that naturally have the ability, Josh Allen, Trevor Lawrence, things like that.
Exactly.
Too many commercials and let football, get back into them. I think you'll be fine when you really need them for that playoff push. They're going to be the guys you want, and you're going to be kicking yourself if you start trading some of these other guys that just ain't going to stick once it really gets around.
Well, that has a lot to do with it. Everybody's freaking out about Derrick Henry right now. Derrick Henry always had a slow start every season. It's always been 2, 3. Yes. Maybe the 4th week, 5th week, he starts coming in and starts playing. I have seen people want to trade for Derrick Henry for Karen Williams from the Rams. You think that's a good trade right now, or for somebody like that?
No. So and that's I love the point you're making. So I've seen people trade. He was probably one. Williams. There's a reason guys picked him up off the fantasy wire and they're selling him. There's a reason that people are running out to try to buy. Look at the last game.
Right.
He's had one good game. Let's pump the brakes on these guys that have one great game. I'm sure there's a lot of people that have never heard their name again. Okay, I would be honest. Jamarcus Russell probably had one good game in the NFL where people were like, "Holy, let me trade for him." And look where so there's there's bad people get lucky, right? Retarded. I don't know if I can say that, right?
Yeah.
A blind squirrel gets his nut.
Blind squirrel get a nut every once in a while.
Yeah. Right. So, also real quick before she loses her mind, Kimber wanted to say hi. This is my little girl. She just got done with MMA training. So she's rocking the Cowboys jersey. Oh, who you got? Old son Jarwin. He ain't a thing no more. So that's probably why she has it. But so yeah, Kimber, you want to say hi to everybody?
Hi.
Kimber,
Hey.
Miami Dolphins. Who's Miami got this week, Scott? Do you know?
Yeah. So yes, Buffalo this week.
Buffalo this week. Oh, that should be a really good game. Who's winning, Buffalo or Miami?
Miami.
There you go. Great answer. See, she knows what she's talking about. She gets it naturally. So, guys, Kimber called it. Go ahead, place your bets. Over on
Kimber, you get to stay up an extra 15 minutes. How about that?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Scott, you can't make those promises.
Oh,
Hey,
okay. Sorry.
But, Kimber, tell everybody bye and say go, give us a go Miami and go ahead and get to bed.
Bye.
Bye.
Make sure you cheer for Miami extra good so they can keep on beating other teams' butts.
There you go. All right. You have a great night, baby girl. Can you close the door on your way out? Thank you, ma'am. Hey, hang that back up, okay? All right. All right. Sorry.
All right. Nothing wrong having a kid that comes in here and wants to talk about football. Love that. Love it. Always love it and always welcome it.
Heck yeah. That's the great thing. Fantasy's great for families, to involve families. I think next year we're going to do a family league. I'm hoping to, little, I don't know, man.
Yeah,
Some kind of lesson. I don't know what the lesson's going to be, but there's going to be a lesson somewhere in that.
It's got to start right now. There's nothing wrong with that. So I do want to talk to you about also, I had to see a lot of trades for this young man, and I know he's promising right now, but I've seen some major stars get traded away, Devontae Adams. I see Deebo Samuels for Puka. I'm a little hesitant when somebody asks me about that. I know he's a great wide receiver. He's been great the last few games. He's been doing well. But trading for this guy, just because one superstar had a bad week, I'm going to advise you guys, let's remember Cooper Kupp is eventually going to come back. And he is going to take over his number one role. Puka's not going to see as much targets like he is right now. But Polk, what do you think about a lot of these people just trading Devontae Adams, Deebo Samuels. I think I saw one with Stephon Diggs for Puka. What do you advise people about that? Yes, he's been having a great games, but
so don't get me wrong. Puka's been great. He's a talented kid. I love what he's done so far, and kind of like the point we've touched on. You don't want to fire sell some of these guys for Puka. I look at Puka. Look at the last game. He barely. He was at what 31 yards up until a minute in the fourth quarter. Guys, What did Devontae Adams had last week?
Oh,
I think
man,
he had
a
solid numbers.
Yeah, he had a monster week and lost the game.
Right. Yeah. So that's the thing is you're going to get consistent numbers, and yeah, they're going to, they're going to rise and fall. Right. You Devontae Adams, people are going to try to cover him, and sometimes some teams are going to be successful. But you're going to have more of a chance of Devontae Adams having those breakout games than Puka does. Okay. Right. Puka had it that first week because no one knew who Puka was. No one had a clue. No one. They didn't know that they had Cup's twin brother, in a little bit darker pigmentation. Right. So, teams are going to start shutting him down. I also noticed you got to be careful. No one's making those plays. No one's making that. They're going to stop it. Atwell is very involved. You got Cup that's going to come back. The kid's doing great, right? And if you're in PPR, he might be solid. He might get you a pretty decent amount of receptions a game, but he's not going to do what Devontae Adams. Now, if you can get rid of Hopkins and get Puka, hey, by all means.
Absolutely, 100%. Agreed.
Your guys, and just know your value, right? Don't oversell them because they're having a bad week. No one wants to do that. That's where people like me, Sharks or whatever. Hey, yes, we're going to give you these guys we picked up off of waiver wire because they didn't cost us anything. Give us your starters you drafted. Give us DK Metcalf. Give me DK Metcalf. Come on. Go ahead. That star in that offense. Give me just don't give me Madison, but I'd probably take Akers.
Yeah. Well, that's for a perfect example. One of our people in our league, he really wants Calvin really, really bad, right? And I have him. He was trying to entice me with Tyler Lockett and Cam Akers for that trade, and I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. Because Calvin really, especially on Atlanta, he's got a revenge game with Atlanta, so he's probably going to put good numbers on that. He's got easy schedule coming up right now that's going to be helping these guys out like Trevor Lawrence and all those guys. They're eventually going to come out and start playing like they did on week 1. You just got to be patient. And that's what I'm seeing with a lot of these people are just like, hey, I got this trade. Should I go do it? I'm like, no, give your guys a chance to develop and do stuff. Just because they're having an off week or 2 weeks, y'all got to calm down and let things happen. If we're going into the 8th, 9th week, that's something we may have to talk about later on if these guys are not doing what they're supposed to be doing. But anyways,
don't destroy your fantasy team in week 3 when you can take a loss or 2. I took the first 2 weeks as a loss. I didn't freak out. There's no reason. Most teams have 2, 3, 4 losses coming into the playoffs.
Right.
It's not a big deal. Once you start stacking 4, 5, 6, have concern.
Yeah. Exactly.
But right now, especially if you're setting it, 1 and 2, you're okay.
I'm going to give you guys.
These teams get acclimated.
I'm going to give you guys a perfect example. So last year on the league that Polk and I are on, it's my league, and I was 0-4 for the start. Came back and won the whole thing. I had an even record going into the playoffs, and came back and won the whole thing. So if you just stay patient, give your guys a chance, then you'll be okay. So,
those other people, real quick too, don't give them a chance that they got 2 winning weeks off of some of these bum guys, and now they done collected your treasures. And week 5, 6, when everybody's rocking and rolling, they looking real solid now, and you get what you don't want to happen. Don't make these terrible trades, guys. Text us.
Exactly.
I get texts all. Guys just wanting to buy guys. So there was a guy that was wanting to trade, and he wanted Karen Williams, and he had Puka, and they were going to give him Karen and Atwell for someone pretty good. He just really wanted, And I was like, you got the whole Rams offense. If they lose a game, that's not a good decision. You know, y'all got to be careful. Sometimes another perspective will help that, right? Because you're just you know,
Sometimes you need to step back
and see if it really makes sense.
Exactly.
That's all I got.
All right. So no, you're good, buddy,
man.
So I know, right?
Give me more. You know.
So let's talk. Let's talk about the Week 4 matchups coming up here. Green Bay against Detroit. It's going to be a rival game there. Jordan Love against Jared Goff over there. Christian Watson was spotted practicing. Going to have a good chance, maybe have a good chance to play on tomorrow's game. Who do you say is going to win this game here? No Aaron Jones, by the way.
Man, I'm really excited. So I'm excited. I want to see this game. I'm excited to see. You know, Green Bay's secondary has been playing pretty well. Both teams have been susceptible to the run. Both teams' strongest point isn't necessarily the run. You know, Detroit can argue that with Gibbs this year a little bit, but you know, everybody likes to see Amon-Ra catch the ball, and everybody, you know, Jared Goff's played some solid football. So it should be an exciting game. I'm hoping for a high-scoring game. It probably won't. It'll probably be like one of those 17-14 type of games, you know. You know, true Detroit fashion, right?
Right.
But, you know, and I got to quit saying But, no, I'm excited to see the game. I definitely start the running backs for that game. Be a little leery, but, right, if Amon-Ra's in your start lineup, he's in my lineup in one of my teams, that 3-0. He's staying, right? He's staying.
Yeah.
Because he can be targets.
Exactly. Again, guys, just in case Thursday morning, just make sure that, you know, if you got Christian Watson, just make sure he's good to go. Aaron Jones may be a game time decision. I would keep that really, really close. I know they kept him out last week, but I have a feeling that he's not going to be playing this game because he barely practiced all week. So David Montgomery, he's another one, suffered a thigh contusion on week 2. He has been day-to-day as well, but he's been reported practicing. So
because that's a
check out those guys if you need them. Yeah, exactly.
And I'm sorry. if a bruise keeps David Montgomery sidelined,
It just
showcases it like he's kind of done so far. Man, David Montgomery might be on his, you know, third team.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Polk, we got an 8:30 game on Sunday. Atlanta Falcons against. Oh well, excuse me. Before we go in that, who's going to win the Green Bay and Detroit game?
Listen. I want to say Detroit. I like Detroit. I'm a fan. Hey, I love what they're doing. Hudson hadn't played up to par. Their defense hadn't necessarily played up to par as much. The offense has kind of been.
here. I'm going to say Green Bay.
I like Green Bay's secondary. And Love has been playing pretty well. So, and Goff.
Yeah,
those are sets.
But he knows how to throw it to Amon-Ra and St. Brown. So, you know, I love what Detroit's doing. I think they're doing great. But Jordan Love is starting to heat up, like you said. He's starting to look good. I think it's going to be a close game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. But I'm going to go with Packers as well. Again, let's go with the Atlanta Falcons Jacksonville game at 8:30. Excited about this football in the morning. Looking at Zay Jones, he's day to day with his knee injury. You got him. I mean, just take a look. No Miami, other than Jalen Waddle, still in concussion protocol. He did practice fully today.
Yeah. He's got to get so many practices.
He should be good.
and
Right.
so he can't clear it until he gets like 2 or 3 full practices. So
Right.
I think he'll be fine.
Yeah. But if you guys have Zay Jones, just make sure. It looks like it might be a long shot for him to play this week. But Jacksonville, Atlanta. Who do you think? Who do you think he's going to win on that one? That's a tough game right there.
I think Jacksonville finally rights the ship. I think Jacksonville can have a real good game. Atlanta's looked pretty good. Bijan Robinson's the truth, right? I just wish they'd get the ball in his hands a little more.
I agree.
Ritter's finally starting to calm down.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they still have all the pieces on an offense, right? You got Pitts, you got Bijan, you got Drake London, but I don't think it's enough. Definitely the team's moving in the right direction with what they've, came from. But I still just don't think they're going to be able to. I think Jacksonville's a little bit more complete. Could be wrong, but.
All right. I agree with you, Jacksonville, on that one. I did jump ahead on there with Waddle, didn't I? So Miami and Buffalo, your 12 o'clock game over there. Your Dodgers are predicted. Miami's going to win it. I think Miami is going to win it. Hands down. I think they're going to throw another 50 points on. It's going to be a high-scoring game. It really is.
Buffalo's got a pretty decent defense, but, Buffalo's offense in what it,
it's not clicking the way it normally does. Yeah. So nothing, no injury report on other than Waddle on the Miami, and then on the Bills, no injury on that. Next game, this is going to be a sad game. I don't think nobody's going to watch this one. Denver against Chicago.
We got 2 barn burners this week. Yeah. That's one of them. What's the other?
That's one of them. Well.
What's the other? Come on.
So we got Baltimore and Cleveland.
Minnesota and Carolina. Man, hey, these 0-3 teams might play some of the best. This might be when they're going against another terrible team. It might be some of the best football you're going to watch. We're going to see fumbles and we're going to see fields spinning around in circles, and it's going to be fantastic. I'm super excited to see these games. I think Minnesota is a lot better than their record, though. So
yeah, exactly. So Denver and Chicago, who do you think is going to win on that one, man?
Denver.
Flipping a coin. All right. I'm going to go with Chicago. I think they're going to pull it out. Who knows?
You think Justin Fields goes over 120 yards?
Oh, guaranteed. 120 yards. I'll do that one.
Okay, because I think he hit 110 last week, so that's
exciting. I'll do 120. I'll give you a bet on that. 120. I'll go with that. All right. No injuries on either team on that one. Baltimore Ravens, Cleveland game. Justice Hills, he's questionable. Although Beckham's questionable. Unfortunately, Nick Chubb out for the season. Luckily, it's not an ACL. Could have ended his career. It's actually MCL. Where are you going on that one, buddy?
I think Cleveland has the potential. I like what they're. What about old Myles Garrett? He limped off the field last week. He good?
Well, he's good. Nothing on him.
Okay. Yeah. So Cleveland, they've been terrorizing quarterbacks. Yes, Lamar Jackson has the escapability, right? Yes, he is that QB. But Myles Garrett's fast and he's big.
He's scary.
Yeah, and so that's my concern. I think they're going to terrorize him all day. It could go one or two ways. Either Cleveland's going to make him, make his life difficult, or he's going to be able to squirt out. But my bet's on Cleveland, and I hate that because I got Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. So, guys, if you have Kareem Hunt, he is actually questionable to play. He is questionable already. That's keep an eye on that if you have them.
On that?
The only thing that I show on here is that he has a rib injury. I don't know what he did. He might have. I don't know. I guess he got hit the wrong way. Yeah, I mean that's the only thing I see here. Yeah,
That's him and
That's the
David
only thing I
Montgomery,
see.
man. Super excited for their Hall of Fame speech.
All right, next game. Bengals. Bengals against Tennessee over here. Joe Burrow not on the questionable or injury list right now, so that's a good thing. You think he's going to air it out with Jamar Chase?
Real quick, he may not be on like the official questionable injury list, but he's on my fucking questionable list right now. Joe Burrow does not look like fucking Joe Burrow. Something is wrong with Burrow. Okay, if that boy don't start pushing the ball down the field because he can only make accurate throws 5 yards from the pocket, I'm going to think that they killed Joe Burrow and now they got someone else trying to play Joe Burrow.
Oh, yeah.
Those balls are not – if it's more than 15 yards, he's off the mark. Super crazy, super uncharacteristic.
Very, very different from him. He's not 100%. That's for sure. Everybody's really stressing out right now with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins on their fantasy. And just tell them to be patient.
I'm a Jamar Chase owner.
Yeah. Well, I'm a T. Higgins on one league. So just be patient, guys. Eventually he'll come out of it and he'll start throwing again. So you think – yeah, you pray, exactly. Bengals, Tennessee, who's going to win?
Oh, yeah, Bengals. Tennessee's terrible.
They're bad right now. All the way around. All the way around.
Yeah. Bad play all the way.
All right. Next
the defense gets some turnovers, so that's neat.
Oh, yeah. Bengals defense.
An interception.
Yeah, Bengals did real well in their defense last week. I got like 16 points off of them. So
yeah, I picked them up.
Yeah. Los Angeles against the Colts. Anthony Richards still in the concussion protocol. He was slated to practice Wednesday. Still looking good. I was pretty impressed with Minshew over there. So this could be a good game as well. Minshew?
Who stepped out of the end zone?
Yeah.
Did you like that?
Yeah.
He jumped, so like 3 quarterbacks that had ever done it. Gardner Minshew is one of them.
He is one of them. But he's doing okay, though. He's doing okay.
No, yeah, he used to sling the ball.
Yeah. I mean, he's probably one of the best backups out there right now. So,
no, it's Trevor Siemian for the Jets.
Boy.
Yeah, no, I agree.
That's a little nasty thing going on right there. We'll talk about that here when we come up to it. But yeah, Rams, definitely, I think Rams going to take that one.
Is Matthew Stafford going to be out?
No injury reports on.
Everybody good? Okay.
Everybody's good on
that. Yeah, Rams going to win. Josh Jacobs is bad. I just want y'all to know. So y'all hear
Josh Jacobs? We haven't got huh?
Oh, Raiders. I'm thinking Raiders.
Yeah, you're thinking Raiders. We're not there yet, buddy.
Yeah.
We're not there yet.
They moved on me. I forgot.
Yeah. Chargers? No, Rams, buddy.
L.A. Rams and who?
L.A. Rams and Colts. You having a senior moment?
I'm having a moment, man.
Oh my God.
Well, L.A. I was thinking automatically.
I know there's so many L.A. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
Right. And I just wanted to bash on Josh Jacobs because I hate him.
we're getting there, buddy. We're getting there. All right.
Colts.
Rams is the Rams for me that I'm picking to win.
I think the Rams definitely have the opportunity, but the Colts defense has been playing really good.
Yeah.
And looks somewhat decent. If only they had a running back.
I know. Next week, maybe.
I'll take the
We'll
Colts on
see.
that one, though.
Okay, all right. Tampa Bay at New Orleans. Alvin Kamara comes back from his suspension. Nobody injured right now other than Chase Edmonds, but no one really cares.
Yeah. That's a little bit tougher. Tampa Bay so their defense has been playing pretty decent, but they Baker Mayfield has a great game where he knows everybody's signal, and then he has one where they can't move the ball at all. Mike Evans seems to be the only gleaming star on that. So yeah, it's going to be rough. I'm real worried about Ronald Jones.
Okay. Oh, Rojo. Derek Carr says that, I'm sorry.
Look, I'm tired, man.
That's okay. I know. You said Rojo, and I was like, oh, okay. Did he make it back on their roster? White. No. Okay. Yeah. Derek Carr.
Derek Carr. It's late, man.
It's okay. It's okay, buddy. It's okay. Derek Carr, Saints coach Dennis Allen says that Carr's shoulder has a sprained ACH joint. He is week to week. Jamal Williams ruled out for Sunday's game. Hamstring injury on that one, but Kamara's back, so I'm going to pick the Buccaneers on that one. It's always been Mike Evans always had a good game with him.
Winston didn't garnish. He had 100 yards, but he didn't have a touchdown. Olave's a little bit tougher to start with Winston in the game. He will take shots, but they're just not the most accurate shots. I like what the usage Kamara probably is going to get because remember he wasn't injured, guys. He was on a suspension, so he should be full go. He should have been, he should have been ready. So I think, especially with the opportunity of Williams being out, Kamara might be a pretty decent start, but otherwise,
not
going to be able to do.
Okay. Commanders against the Eagles. Logan Thomas is questionable.
Next.
Eagles, we all know that. And there's your other game: Minnesota Vikings against Carolina. Minnesota's going to get their first win. They have to, right? I think
so. Bryce Young, how's he looking? He going to play?
Let's see. Bryce Young practice Wednesday, so looking good so far.
Damn. I really liked what Thielen had going on. But yeah, so if Bryce Young plays, he still start Thielen. He has been the best thing on that offense. Sanders is okay, but yeah.
Yeah. So Pittsburgh at Houston. I'm going to say Pittsburgh on this one. Allen Robinson hurt or questionable. No injury for Houston. So
Kenny Pickett. Yeah. Texas had a really good game. They actually came to compete last week. I think they got the win right. CJ Stroud had 3 touchdowns. Pierce had 1. So, but the Steelers have a great defense, and I think that they're going to make Stroud, especially coming off that win, they're going to knock him down a peg or two. I think Pittsburgh can win. Pickett's somewhat manageable, and they got a really good defense. So yeah.
All right. So now, Polk, you can talk about the Las Vegas
He's
Raiders
terrible.
Against the Chargers.
Yeah, Las Vegas, Los Angeles, loss. Yeah, terrible. Their running back is bad. He's been bad. I've been calling this for a couple of years. He did really good last year. I don't know how that happened. When we talk about that fluke stuff, So what did he? Was he positive? Was it 2 yards? Was he positive 2 yards last week?
That's it. That's all.
That's exciting. Isn't
it?
That's super exciting.
So I still want to put in Zamir White, please. Put in Zamir White. Give this kid a fucking chance to play. He is a talented fucking player. Put him in. Or just fire your coach over there. How about that? I'm like, Josh Daniels doesn't know what to do over there. Devontae Adams is not happy. Look, guys, put him in. Put Zamir. I guarantee you, he's going to get more than 2 yards. Guarantee it.
Devontae Adams left Green Bay for. They got bad. Like, they got rid of everybody and everything. He went over there and said, Derek Carr's a good quarterback. Carr's like, I got you. And then Derek Carr says, bye, I'm out.
Yeah.
And everybody else is out. Terrible. Josh Jacobs is terrible. It's a terrible team.
I agree.
I agree. I'll still take Jonathan Taylor over Josh Jacobs.
Any day of the week.
So, like, if JT comes in and plays one quarter, he could probably catch Josh Jacobs' numbers in the first 3 games. So,
agreed, 100%. For you, Garoppolo, 100%. For you guys, Garoppolo, he's in a 5-step concussion protocol. I even say this: quit drafting this guy. He gets hurt every year. He gets hurt. Leg injury, concussion, something. There's always going on. Quit drafting these guys. Please. Not even for your backup quarterback. Not even for
he puts up decent numbers, but when you need him, he's not going to be there.
He's not. But if you're in a 2-quarterback league, you can't trust Garoppolo. I'm sorry. You can't. Let me talk about Eckler real quick.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay. Eckler, he's reported to be on the field. He's still going to be game time decision. If he practices Thursday and Friday, he's going to be in.
So they say that Eckler has been at practice. He says he's been around. The concern is that ankle, he says, when he's turning. One of the great things about Eckler is to be able to be shifty to make that cut when he needs to make that cut. And if he's not 100%, he'll let you know, and he probably isn't going to play if he's not there. And that's what I would worry about, right? I don't want to risk it, make him, put him in that game and re-injure it. So, as fantasy managers, kind of look to move past him this week. Because, like I said, when a running back can't make those moves, can't make those turns, then they're just, linemen.
I agree. Again, like I mentioned, Mike Williams out for the season, ACL tear. This is why I drafted Quentin Johnson, because I knew either Mike Williams was going to get hurt or Keenan Allen was going to get hurt. This is why I drafted this guy. I waited patiently. Now I got him. Let's see what he does. But we'll go from there.
And you can't be surprised. I traded for Mike Williams. Now, it wasn't necessarily Mike Williams that got the trade right. It was I wanted the tight end. I wanted Freiermuth. Mike Williams was a part of it. I got one good game out of him. I kind of, just when he went down, I kind of knew. I was like, okay, well, this is definitely not out of character for Mike Williams.
Right,
so,
exactly.
I shouldn't be surprised if you are.
Talented player, but always gets hurt.
Very much.
New England against Dallas. Look, I was not impressed with Dallas's offense last week. You know what? It just seemed like when they got to that field, the big blow to Trayvon Diggs looked like the defense lost their best friend. Which is just true, they did, but I mean, it's just like there was no life on that defense.
The center or guard, Diggs.
Guard, tackle,
yeah.
every. I mean, half their offensive line was hurt.
A blind quarterback.
Right. Yeah, I just one thing I did
right ship.
I'm going to say something real quick that really pissed me off. Cowboys had the ball less than 5 minutes, and we kept running it and kept running it and kept running it. How about we just throw it down the field and see what happens? I mean, yes, he threw a fucking interception but If he scored a touchdown within 4 minutes, the Cowboys could have had a chance to get that ball back. They could have brought him back to life. Could have got that defense going, right? But we ran the ball until like a minute and 30 seconds. Well, what was that going to do? What was it going to do if you did score a touchdown? Hope that you get an onside kick.
Bringing Cooks and giving those assurances about Gallup and everything, and having CD if we don't throw the ball, if we can't throw the ball. If you don't trust Dak, let's move on from Dak.
Right.
And I don't think Dak's been terrible in his career, but he had a terrible number of interceptions last year, and then he came into this year saying, "Oh, he's going to do better." And I know that everybody that has a Facebook has been on Facebook and seen that passing lane. It was absolutely terrible. It's 2 Cardinal defenders. He led, what tight end? Who was it?
Oh, Jake Ferguson.
Ferguson.
Oh,
okay.
yeah,
Ferguson, real bad. It was just a terrible, absolutely terrible decision that you can't make in crunch time in a game. Run it in. Go run it in. Take your chances. Be more athletic than the linebackers. Do something, but you can't just make that throw. You can't do that. Hopefully we see a new Cowboys that really, I don't know. They were coming off of 2 great games. And they
do look like they never know.
Lost, so.
How can you go to a team that was predicted to be last place and just look horrible? Like you should have blew them out. That was a horrible game. Anyways,
So
Dallas. I'm picking Dallas to win. It's going to be a close game. Just the fact that it's Belichick, man. And
you think Elliott has a revenge game? He got 80 yards last week. He had the bulk of the carries.
If the Cowboys don't come out and play, if they play like they did with the Arizona, yeah, I think he's going to have fucking 300 fucking yards because they didn't want.
I don't think he
stop
can get 300 yards.
I don't think he will, but I think he's going to. Something's going to happen,
Pull over and
if they don't stop him, that's the only thing I can see. If they don't stop the running game, I think they can. I think if they can stop the passing game, but they got to stop the running game. And of course, I'm going to pick the Cowboys. So, Arizona against San Francisco. San Francisco is going to win that one. I mean,
I'm gonna feel really good if Arizona pulls that one out of their ass.
Yeah, for sure. Do be concerned that Debo was not spotted at Monday's practice, but he was.
Debo's gonna miss.
He was there. Brandon Ayuk was present for his, so he may be playing again. Kansas City against the Jets on the Sunday night game.
Start.
What's that? Kittle? Yes.
Might be interesting.
Yeah, from San Francisco, yeah.
You might finally get some production out of him.
Yeah. Kansas City and New York Jets game, that was supposed to be a big game with Aaron Rodgers and them. Guys, don't even watch that game. It's going to be a slobber. It's going to be a slobber knocker, man. It's going to be bad. It's, Kansas City is going to win that game. And then the Monday night game was Seattle and Giants, which that could be a decent game on that one.
DK Metcalf. Yeah, Seattle's going to win, I think. I still hadn't quite figured out. I don't know if the Giants are just one of the worst teams in the league or they're just
I don't know.
Having a rough time, having a bad I don't know. Barkley going down definitely hurts. It's week 2. Daniel Jones looked halfway decent, right?
Right.
He had a good game, and then every other week they've looked terrible. So
yeah,
I hadn't quite figured them out. I want to say they are what I think they are. That's probably one of the worst teams in the league. Maybe Arizona's better. Which fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Maybe so we'll see. I think DK Metcalf and Lockett and them can have a pretty good game.
I agree. Barkley did make some progress. Hey, look at him. Look at that guy. He's just going off, isn't he?
Yeah, and I man, the crazy thing is I really liked him, and I do what I've told myself I'm never, right? Because they do it every single year. But they were like, oh, Zach Charbonnet, he just seems like the more complete back. Zach. So, I doubted myself and didn't take Kenneth Walker, and I'm kicking myself in the ass because I had him last year and I loved what he did. I love the production. I love the opportunities that he gets, and he's done really well this year. So,
well, you got to remember though, Kenneth Walker, he's been hurt, so I get that, and I understand why you went that way. But yeah, I get it. But guys, Barkley, he's making progress, so keep an eye on him. Throughout the week and see what he does, so you can put him in the lineup. But that's pretty much it for week 4, Polk. You got anything else for us?
Excited. Check our show out. We're almost on every platform. It'll be up on Thursday. We're going to try to do it on Thursdays. Scheduling is a little difficult, guys. My kids have MMA on Wednesdays, but we got it in. We get it a little late. But hey, remember that there is that early morning game. So make sure that if you have those players, any of those guys questionable, anything like that, you want to check that lineup before that starts. So make sure you're checking those Saturday night or Saturday during the day. Just kind of keep tabs. Set an alarm. Set a reminder. Wake up right before that game. If you're not going to be up like me and be glued to the TV and ready to go, maybe firing up the smoker. She'll set the alarm. She hears me get up and stuff, so she'll just look at her thing, put it back down, and then she ain't got to worry about it. Just make sure you check that, right? Be mindful of these early games. You really don't want to get caught with your pants down, and you got someone in that ends up being out, and that's the reason you lose, right? So,
right, exactly. All right, guys, please, if you're on YouTube, like and subscribe. Put your notifications on when we come on. Please share as well. We're here to help you guys out. Please, text Kalen Polk on Facebook Messenger or Punt Situation, which that would be me, Scott Doyle, and we'll help you out with your fantasy questions and everything there. I'm sorry we couldn't get that to you tonight, but we will eventually start doing a little bit more of that, getting your questions out. So again, this is what we do. We love helping people out. We want you to win and win your championships. Paul, take us out, man.
All right, guys, it's been another week Punt Situation with Polk and Scott, and we had Kimber to say hi and predict that Miami Dolphins win. So, like Scott said, man, check us out on every platform and tell your friends. We're ready to answer those questions. So, hey, y'all have a great week. I hope everybody gets a dub this week. I hope y'all win some money and get some wins, get in that win column, guys. If y'all need anything, we love y'all. We're here for y'all. Y'all take care.